That's okay. We need some juice, so that's good.
What do you get when you mix lawsuits, sideline meltdowns, engagement theories, and a dash of Hollywood? Pure Taylor Swift chaos. First up, a wannabe Sherlock tried sneaking into Travis Kelce's neighborhood just to slap Taylor with deposition papers. Spoiler, he left in handcuffs.
Process server has been arrested while trying to serve Taylor Swift with deposition papers.
Then, Swifties lost it after Travis's sideline blow-up, worried his temper could shake the fairytale. And speaking of fairytales, fans think Kelce pulled off the ultimate multitask, proposing right after his podcast taping. But while love's in the air, Mama Kelce is already pushing baby agendas, adding family drama to the mix.
Mom's always had Travis number one. I do know.
Listen, and right now, Mom has Jason number one because he has kids.
On top of that, Taylor's drowning in bridal gown offers, with designers practically camping in her inbox. And finally, Ethan Hawke pops up, calling Taylor practically a Hawke household member.
I have 3 daughters, so Taylor Swift is pervasive in our household.
Here's the scene. It's 2 a.m. in Travis Kelce's fancy Kansas neighborhood, the kind where the gates are taller than your dreams, and suddenly, a former cop turned wannabe Sherlock Holmes decides he's going to hop the fence like it's a high school dare. His mission? Not to stalk Travis, not to snag a Super Bowl ring, but to hand Taylor Swift some seriously unwanted paperwork. Yep, he was allegedly trying to serve her deposition papers for Justin Baldoni's messy legal showdown with Blake Lively. Honestly, you can't make this stuff up. Cops show up, and surprise, surprise, they're not handing out friendship bracelets. They slap him with a misdemeanor trespassing charge and cart him off. He got out after posting bond, but according to chatter, he was already whining that he might lose his private investigator license. Translation? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Process server has been arrested while trying to serve Taylor Swift with deposition papers.
The guy was charged with jumping the fence onto a private residence in a private neighborhood at around 2 a.m.
Now, rewind just a couple days before this backyard circus. A judge had basically told Baldoni's legal team to quit dragging their feet. They wanted extra time to depose Taylor, arguing her schedule was too packed with, being Taylor Swift. The judge was not having it, saying the case had been going on for 6 months, and if they hadn't gotten their act together by now, that was on them. Basically, the court served Baldoni's team a big fat nope. Here's where it gets spicier. Baldoni's side swore up and down that Taylor agreed to a deposition as long as deadlines were shifted. But her lawyers hit back hard, saying she never agreed to anything. They added that if she had to show up, she could squeeze it in the week of October 20th, but that's it. Talk about lawyer-level shade. Meanwhile, Blake Lively's lawsuit against Baldoni is still hanging heavy in the air. She's accusing him of harassment on the set of It Ends With Us and claims his people launched a smear campaign against her. He denies it all and even tried countersuing Blake and Ryan Reynolds for a cool $400 million, but that case got tossed quicker than expired yogurt back in June. And while Taylor's balancing lawsuits and album drops, Travis is on the football field turning into the Hulk on national television. Yep, during the Chiefs' Sunday night football game, camera zoomed right in as he went head-to-head, literally, with Coach Andy Reid. We're talking bumping, yelling, the whole 9 yards. Forget strategy talk, this was more sideline soap opera than NFL. Sports commentators were practically narrating it like it was an episode of Keeping Up with the Kelces. Now, Swifties aren't exactly thrilled. Some are clutching their pearls, saying if he's popping off like that under stadium lights, what's he like at home? Others have gone full-on conspiracy mode, convinced this whole relationship is one giant PR stunt. According to them, Taylor's team is setting up the perfect breakup narrative. Pop Queen marries football star becomes league's clown, brand collapses. Dramatic? Yeah. Entertaining? Absolutely. But the whispers don't stop there. Insiders claim Taylor herself is getting a little shaky over Travis's temper. Apparently, every fumble, every dropped pass, every angry glare isn't just a sports headline anymore. It's a global Taylor Swift's fiancé loses it headline. And that kind of pressure? It's apparently eating at him. She supposedly loves him, but she can't ignore the cracks forming under the spotlight. To be fair, Travis has admitted that being Taylor's other half isn't exactly low maintenance. He once joked that the paparazzi literally stalk him in the bushes when he's just trying to play golf. Imagine lining up a putt only to spot some dude crouching in the trees with a camera. Yeah, nightmare fuel. Still, he insists he's trying to keep life chill for Taylor. He says they're just having fun, being a couple, going to hockey games and blending their worlds. Cute, right? But if he can't keep his sideline rage in check, the Swiftie army might start sending him to anger management faster than Andy Reid can call a timeout. Meanwhile, Swifties are now busy waving around a totally different one, this time in the shape of an engagement ring. Yep, the internet detectives have gone full CSI over Travis Kelce's proposal timeline, convinced he popped the question the very same day Taylor sat down for that Big New Heights podcast episode on August 13th. Forget just bros talking ball. Apparently that podcast was one giant distraction while Kelce's house got turned into a Hallmark movie set. Insiders say Travis went full Pinterest core, hiring a crew to build some kind of magical garden theme at his Kansas pad, while Taylor was busy chatting with Jason on camera. The man basically multitasked like a champ, 1 minute talking football, the next prepping the love of his life for engagement photos with her glam already locked in. Smart move. No one wants surprise engagement pics featuring tour bus hair. Of course, fans combed through every detail like it was a murder board. They pointed out Taylor's nails and accessories were identical between the podcast and the engagement photos, meaning, gasp, she said yes before the episode even dropped. And then there's the ultimate fan favorite clue, the slight dent in her hair where her headphones sat. When Swifties are clocking headphone indentations, you know the theory's airtight. Even Kelce's dad accidentally spilled a little tea, casually mentioning the proposal happened maybe 2 weeks before the official announcement. According to him, Travis originally wanted to delay things, go all out with some big fancy setup, but Taylor might have been getting a little antsy. Dad basically told him, "Son, you could propose on the side of the road and she'd still say yes." Solid dad wisdom right there.
You know, the perfect way to ask her and to make it special. And we kept trying to tell him, when you do it, that's what makes it special. So don't fret on where, or just get it done. It was a couple weeks ago that Travis got it done after a few weeks of prodding from myself and from Scott Swift.
And while fans were still busy analyzing headphone dents and nail polish in those engagement pics, Mama Kelce decided to enter the chat with her own brand of pressure, baby pressure. Yep, Donna Kelce, already grandma to a squad of Jason's little girls, apparently can't wait for Taylor and Travis to expand the roster. On the brothers' latest podcast, Travis admitted his ranking in Mom's eyes took a nosedive the second Jason started cranking out daughters. According to him, Jason's basically MVP in the family league because he brought 4 tiny humans into the mix, while Travis is still just the son with a ring, the football kind, not the wedding one. Jason didn't even try to deny it. He laughed and confirmed that Mom has straight up told Travis it's time to get moving.
Mom's always had Travis number one. I do know.
Listen, and right now, Mom has Jason number one because he has kids.
That is true. She has said that. She has made that comment. She's put some pressure on him.
Add Deion Sanders into the conversation, poking him with a "what you waiting for, Dad?" and poor Travis probably felt like he'd just been sacked on live radio. Forget Andy Reid's sideline shove. This was the real pressure play.
So what you waiting on, dog? So what you waiting on? You know, like I tell my kids, I know we've had some close calls. I told my kids.
Donna, though, isn't exactly a villain in this story. She's clearly smitten with Taylor, having binged her music, streamed the Eras Tour film, and even jammed to the Tortured Poets department the morning it dropped. Basically, she's halfway to becoming president of the fan club. She's called Taylor authentic, loving, and ridiculously talented, which is high praise from a woman who raised 2 NFL stars. But while Donna's already daydreaming about Swiftie grandbabies, Taylor herself has been more cautious. Way back in her Marie Claire days, she once said she wanted at least 4 kids running around someday, but later admitted in another interview that the idea of raising little ones under a microscope freaked her out. Hard to blame her, Imagine trying to convince your toddler they're normal when paparazzi are literally hiding in the sandbox. And while Donna's already doodling Swiftie grandbabies in her planner, Taylor's facing a totally different kind of pressure. Dress pressure. Yep, apparently the second that engagement ring hit Instagram, bridal designers came out of the woodwork like moths to a flame, all begging to be the chosen one. Word is she's drowning in offers, and it's not just your run-of-the-mill boutiques either. We're talking fashion royalty practically sliding into her DMs with sketches. Imagine opening your inbox and it looks like a bridal Pinterest board exploded. But here's the kicker. Despite the flood of lace and tulle options, sources say she's still in the vision board stage. She's scoping out venues, dreaming up ideas, and reportedly wants the wedding to be more cozy, less Met Gala. Friends, family, good vibes only. Which, let's be real, is exactly the opposite of what half the internet expected. Some folks thought she'd throw a spectacle so big it'd make the royal wedding look like a courthouse quickie. Of course, because this is Taylor Swift we're talking about, a psychic has already entered the chat. Yup, someone pulled the tarot cards and declared that Tay has known her dream gown long before Travis was even running roots in her direction. According to the mystical forecast, think less plain Jane and more romantic fairy goddess who lives in a pastel cloud. We're talking frothy layers, sheer fabrics, whimsical details, and a little skin peeking through. Classy but still daring. And while Taylor's sketching up pastel cloud gowns in her mind, Ethan Hawke just casually swoops in to remind us that she's basically the wallpaper of his house. He confessed that with 3 daughters, Taylor Swift isn't just a pop star, she's a full-time roommate. Her music is apparently blasting so often that even the family dog probably knows all the bridges by heart.
I have 3 daughters, so Taylor Swift is pervasive in our household.
Hawke spilled that his Swiftie connection goes way back, long before he popped up in her Fortnite video with Josh Charles. Teenage Maya Hawke is sprinting around the house in a Taylor tee, while Dad's trying to write about Chris Christopherson. Even Christopherson himself cracked a joke that Taylor was destined to be one of the greatest songwriters, as long as she didn't, crash and burn. Honestly, that might be one of the most accurate prophecies in music history.
When Taylor was about 16 or 17 years old, I was writing a profile on Chris Christopherson, and I was slightly embarrassed that Maya had a Taylor Swift t-shirt running around the house, and Chris said, that kid's going to be the best American songwriter ever if she stays sober.
And because no interview is complete without poking at the upcoming Kelce Swift nuptials, Hawke admitted he doesn't expect a wedding invite, but hey, a man can dream. He laughed that he'd happily settle for catching a Chiefs game instead, though something tells me he'll be secretly refreshing his mailbox until the RSVP cards go out. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.